This is the continued. So anyway, I went on to Moore Norman Biotech a month later, and I took the test and I passed it with a 73%. And this was in 1995. I got my certification mailed to me in the mail saying that I had passed. And that was a great accomplishment for me because I didn't have to go through all the red tape. I worked for that, and I studied and I figured it out, and I worked for that. Well, after then, I never was successful in long term care because of the short staff, the backwards politics. It was just a revolving door. So I went into home health. And when I went into home health, see, at that time, you only needed one certification, and that was a certified nursing assistant. But then in 1996, I worked in home health for about a year. In 1996, the state decided that in the medical field, whatever area that you work in, you have to be certified. And so I was working for a home health company called Genesis Home Health, which is no longer in existence. And the state said that since I had worked in home health for a year, that they could grandfather me in on a home health with my certification. So I got grandfathered in on my certification for 1996 because I'd already. So anyway, and so to this very day, I still have my certification, my CNA certification from 1995. I still have my home health from 1996. I went on. I worked with developmental disabilities, people with disabilities. I got all that training. I had a mat. I was working at assisted living. They encouraged me to come and be a medication aide because the medications aides made more money than a mat. And the only way you could use a mat was at a residential or assisted living. And you need a CMA because that meant I could go anywhere in the state, anywhere and pass pills. I can go to the prisons and pass pills. So I went back and I paid for that class myself in training, and it was well worth it. And then once I became a CMA, they asked me to become advanced. And what advanced CMA means that you have more training. Your training is equal to a nurse, which means I could do tube feedings, peg tubes. I could do. I could take insulin. I could give insulin. I could check your sugar, your blood sugar, and all of that. And I got a pay increase, so I got those advanced classes in 2009. So I have a lot of medical experience, but I never went on to pursue nursing because I always loved the one-on-one caring for people. Because a lot of times when I was in nursing homes, when I worked as a nurse aide, a lot of my patients didn't have people to come see them on a regular basis. And in the downtime when I had nothing to do, I would visit with them. And I'd sit on the edge or the foot of their bed, or I'd sit close to them, and they'd have a photo album out with pictures. And I would sit. I remember I had one patient, her name was Fanny. I'll never forget her. And she was so mean. They said she was mean, and none of the people, her attitude. But she really wasn't mean. She loved me, and she loved when I come and take care of her. And I'd go and visit with Miss Fanny, and she was a Caucasian lady. And I sat on the foot of her bed, and she had this photo album with these old pictures, and I'd show her the photo album and tell me who these people were, and she would tell me who they were, her children, her family members, and everything. And even when I left from employment of that job, as long as I knew Fanny was living, if I happened to be in the neighborhood, I would go and visit Miss Fanny. I had another lady, and I can't even remember her name, but she was a heavy set lady, and she was in a wheelchair. And I would be working on another hall, and none of the people knew how to put this woman to bed. And she'd always say, "Go down there and get Michaela. Michaela knows how to put me to bed." And so, it was always rewarding that they trusted me enough to put them to bed and stuff, and they knew I could do a good job. They was always fighting over me. They would get mad when they moved me to another floor.